All right, back for another week on the DSP. Joining me, a fresh artist that we just started playing a couple of weeks ago. His name is Boy Gatsby out of Sydney. Broski, how are ya?
Very well, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I feel the vibe. I feel the energy. He's got his beer ready to go. That's what it's about.
Well, sort of. Friday night vibes. Friday night on my afternoon vibes, relaxing. That's how it is.
Bro, I love the grind. You know, you slid into the DMs and you shot me a track and a video clip of a track that you've got out, Let Me In, at the moment, that came out in December. And I was like, all right, let me go back and have a look at this. And instantaneously, I was like, all right, cool. I need to chat to this kid. I need to see what he's doing and what the movement is. So let's take a little bit of a look of you know, who Boy Gatsby is. How long you been doing music for?
So I started making music when I was like 16, and I'm 22 this year. So fuck, what's that? 6 years. I've been doing it 6 years. Mm-hmm. But no, I originally started like 16 on some like heartbreak stuff. Some girlie broke up with me, and I was sitting there listening to Drake, and I was like, "Oh man, shit, I'm in my feelings." And so I posted up this track, and I came to school Monday, and people are like, "Oh fuck, like, you know, it's a cracker, it's a cracker." I'm like, "Yeah, don't, like, fuck off, don't chat shit." And they're like, "No, it's actually good." And then I was like, "What? Dude, I can talk about shit in this music." And so I've just been doing it since then. And yeah, like last year or two is when it's really started to like come into its own thing, where I've been like, maybe I can spend a lifetime doing this. So yeah.
Where did you learn to, you know, produce and I guess well, you know, didn't learn to rap, but obviously you probably watched other artists. You had your favorite artists that you probably were inspired by, but like just being able to produce something to show to people at school, like you don't just all of a sudden be like, oh, cool, I know how to do that.
I'm like an internet kid through and through. You know what I mean? Like we're one of them first generations to really be like birthed by the internet, whether like it's a good thing or a bad thing. And so I was
YouTube
like,
University, bro.
Straight up, man. Straight up. I swear to God, like I feel like you could put half these kids from this generation up against fellows from Harvard in like last century, and we'd probably dust them, just because YouTube University is like, you got every course that you could ever want. Mm-hmm. And so I just went on there and like, yeah, straight up click something. I look for like the quickest tutorial, put it in 1.5 so I can speed through it. And then it's like, I think I started with like, man, some bum programs like Audacity or something on my webcam microphone, and then it's like, you know what I mean? You sort of you're like, shit, need a better mic, need to learn to do this better, blah 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 blah. But yeah, for sure, YouTube University, man, YouTube University.
And so I guess, when did you decide to start going serious, like doing something a little bit serious? Because I go through and I look at the numbers that you're doing on Spotify, I look for the numbers you're doing on YouTube, and you're up there. When did you really go, oh, I'm actually good at this?
Like 2019. Up until like 2019, it was like 40, 50 views on a song. It was like my boys who would gas me up, and like my mum. Like, that's it. And then,
hey, you got to have mums in there. Number one supporter always.
110%. Mum is your first one, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, bro, it was like 50, 40 views. And so I was like, this is fun, and I like doing this, and it's like a good way to alleviate stress or whatever. But yeah, no clue did I ever think that I could, you know, if I hit 1,000 views, man, that would have been like red panty night. So fuck.
Wait, what's red panty now? What is that, when you wear your red panties, or you try to find some girl in red panties?
I come into the room, man, all red lingerie, bust down. It's celebratory. There's some money moments.
Oh, I love that, bro. I love that. So did you have one of those last night? You know, got the unmade bed in the background. Did Boy Gatsby get a little lucky last night, or what?
These days, every night's red panty night. These days, every night. I'm on my success moment. So yeah, these days, every night's red panty night. But no, it was. Bro, I was making these songs with 40, 50 views, and then I worked out. I was like, fuck, I need to work out what I know. Like, I don't know. I didn't have a daddy in the industry, and I didn't have a best mate who went to uni to do this, and like a lot of these kids do. And so I was like, what do I know? I was like, well, I know like YouTubers. I was like, I've always watched YouTube. And so I was like, man, maybe I can hit these kids up. So I sat there one night and just busted through a list of like 100, 200 people, sent them all an email. Hey, you can use my songs. You can use my songs. And one person used it. And I went from 40 to 50 views on that week. And then the next month I was sitting at 100K on a song. And then I was like, man, like this works. There's kids out here doing 500, 600, a few $1,000s from their labels to get 10,000, 20,000 views. and I can just come here and hit this guy up and just ask him nicely, and he'll give me 100,000 views free of charge. And so after that happened, that was my whole finesse. And that's why in Let Me In, you'll see it's like Feature and the Misfits. We're like a group of these Australian, New Zealand, American boys who have 1 million, 2 million, 3 million subs on YouTube, and they'll just jump in the video and then push it. And so it's like, I'm getting this full PR campaign that labels would pay for, but I'm not spending $1.
That's smart, bro. I love to see people working smarter, not harder, bro. Absolutely. And so for you, you know, because your come up really started also through SoundCloud. You know, what was SoundCloud for you?
I started doing it right in that like sweet SoundCloud, like that years that they had there, where like like Pump,
Little Zan, Pump was in there, Trippie Redd was in there.
Yeah, and it was like you had all these fresh faces on the platform, and you could just go through, and as long as you titled your stuff correctly and like thumbnail, and you could really hit the button on some of these kids who were searching for something. Mm-hmm. And so I just did that. Just once again, YouTube. I just Googled it, looked at the trends, had a look what was going on, and just aimed in that way. I think that's like like I might not be the best at a lot of things, but I think the place where I like heavyweight champion is like that YouTube finesse. It's like
bro, you I feel like you're in pocket with exactly what you're talking about with this YouTube, and also, you know, thinking how do you use the platforms and the way that we digest media for your benefit. Sure. And props to you for doing it. Your new music video for Let Me In is sensational, bro. Like the quality level behind it, the storytelling ability. Where did that idea come from? And even like the execution.
So all props, all credit on that. Director Zach, directed by Zach. The man is, I told him if he was doing anything else, like he's just a freak. He just came to this planet from another planet, and he was just born to do like film and nothing else. He's just a freak. And so like linked up with him. He came around the house, like we just sort of got on it a little bit, and he ends up going home at like 2:00 in the morning, and like he leaves, and I was like, this is who I got to work with. Like everyone else is sus. They were all on like a business thing. And he comes around and we just like crack the beers and all this, and he leaves, and I'm like, bro, let's run it. And then that music video was like the most professional shit I ever saw. I trust, like, he's just a freak, like Steven Spielberg of Australia type thing.
And so where did did you personally invest in this? Because this is like, if you haven't watched the music video, go watch it now, because it's cinematic quality. Like it could easily be a big budget from a Sony artist.
Yeah, we stayed that. A lot of people played a guessing game with how much that we spent on it, and everyone was guessing in like high figures. And I mean, compared to like what a lot of these boys are spending on music videos, we paid pennies. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, all the coin came from YouTube finesse. Like we hit up those YouTubers and they were like, cool, this is a project that we want to see. Here's some money, get it done. Mm-hmm. And so, bro, I'm a penny saver. I swear to God, I didn't grow up with no money. And so any place I could save $1, man, I save $1. And so bro, on some little dicky type shit, I'm just like,
yes,
I don't want to spend that money. I'm just not spend the money. And so I just look for people and be like, hey, you want to invest? And I'll be like, yeah, let's run it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did with Let Me In. I didn't pay a cent.
Do you find it hard as an artist being unsigned and unmanaged to compete? Or are you in a mindset where you're just different? Like, it doesn't seem to me like you're getting bogged down in the business side of it.
I see everything. And so I see a lot of boys who have like distro deals or whatever, and they pick up playlisting. They can drop a song and get in this playlist and that playlist. And I'm like, man, playlisting would be great. And so would this. And they get, you know, this person will tell them how to do this release campaign. Whereas me, I'll finish a song on Friday and be like, oh, I might release it next week. And then it's like, you just do it. And in a way, I kind of love it. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm like a business brain in the business will make a business run smoother. But I feel like there's a lot of people, especially because a lot of boys in Oz lean into this side of music. I just lean into like internet kid stuff. And so I think a lot of these internet kids see it and they're like, oh, I get it. Mm-hmm. Whereas if I was super businessy, I'd almost like kill it. But it all comes down to, I don't take it too serious, bro. It's just, You know what I mean? Like,
I
just
love
run
that.
it.
I love
fun.
that. And I can tell that you don't take it too seriously. Do you feel like you're in a lane with any other artists, you know, internationally? Is there anyone that you kind of go, yeah, that's the lane I'm trying to play into?
There's not a lot of people who run the finesse that I did, that I do. But in terms of like people who are making the same type of music or anything like that, not really. I mean, I'm here just to make music I want to do, have a good time doing it. As long as my pocket's good, my family's good, they all get to eat, I get to eat. I'm just cool with it. But there's like a lot of people don't know. Even Post Malone, one of the biggest artists in the world, is all I've done is just copy his technique. Brother came up off Minecraft YouTubers.
Well, bro, I was holding on to it and tight because I wanted to see where you went with it, and that was my comparison. Was Post Malone? Yeah. I've knew Post when he was Austin before anyone knew who Post was, and watching his come up and what he did, and even your sound and your attitude very much align with kind of what he does and who he is.
For sure. I mean, we've got a boy named Bryce who used to be a YouTuber back in the day. Used to be like one of Australia's biggest YouTubers in like Minecraft and that. And in LA, when he went to LA to be a part of this little group or whatever, it was in the lounge room. There was two boys who didn't have beds because they didn't live in the house. It was him and it was some bum rapper named Austin who wasn't doing anything at the time. As Post Malone now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the same way we look at it. There's a lot of like these old fellas who have their grips on the industry and they want to pretend like they know stuff, but they don't. I'm like, man, why would I give them a cent of me? Why would I give them 1% when I can just go to all these like 20-year-old internet boys who are just like, oh, fuck it, man, we know how to build a brand and just do that shit. But
so who are you running? So who are you in Sydney running with? Are you hanging out with other artists, or are you kind of like lone and you just with creatives?
Bro, I swear to God, no one even answers my DMs. No, I feel like now there's some Sydney boys who are like sharpening up to what it is and all that type of stuff. But man, you know Oz music, it's so cliquey. It's so cliquey. Unless your daddy did this or your auntie did that, and you know this boy and you know that boy, then like everyone just thinks they're on something. But nah, I mean, bro, a Sydney artist that I fuck with massively, Mason Dane, Colt Shotter, insane. Monu Crooks, like for OG old times. Australia is insane. But there's a lot of the Sydney boys who just pretend like.
So you talk to Mason Dane yet? Have you hit him?
Yeah, me and Mason got a song on the way.
Okay, that's what I like to hear. I had Mason Dane on the show just a couple of weeks ago. And I could see those vibes that would work perfectly between the two of you.
Yeah, Mason got a voice like an angel.
Any date on that one? When are we going to see it? How long we got to wait for it?
Shit, I mean it's done. I might just drop it. I might just drop it next week. No, we want to do another big music video for it, and so I got to get that secured, and then we'll run that, and then we'll release it. But I promise this music video will be like 3 times bigger than Let Me In.
Yeah, I heard little whispers, and I you know saw a little bit here and there that you were potentially doing an EP this year at the beginning of the year. Obviously, that didn't come about. No. Is there a plan to do that, or are you just kind of like, screw it, let me just keep going singles right now?
I change my mind every week. Sometimes I think I should just drop something on them and let them see like what I can do, and then other times I'm like, nah. I might. You, my friend,
are a manager's worst nightmare.
Yeah, honest to God, bro. That's why maybe a bit of business will be good for me. Someone to be like, listen, this is what we're doing. Because if not, I'll wake up. If I wake up, I might wake up at 2 in the afternoon and be like, let's drop the song, man. At this point, I'm just in my mind. I got like a little map, a road map of how things going, and then the second everything feels correct and sharp for it, then I'll release it. Everything seems nuts, but it's in some way calculated. It's like
it's called what is it? Organized chaos.
Yeah, something like that.
Beauty in the madness. Well, bro, it's great to finally link with you. This track that you've got out that we're going to play, that we've been playing on the show, Let Me In, that came out in December. You've got a new track out called Netflix and Zan as well, which came out in March. Bro, just keep doing what you're doing. You ain't got to change anything, and your sound is there. I'm really excited to see what Boy Scout Gatsby, does in 2021.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. Big fan.